Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, the 25th of March, 2020, just after 1 o'clock. Welcome to UK Column News. Your host today, Mike Robinson, myself, Brian Gerrish. Well, blue sky and sunshine out there, Mike. Really, the only thing spoiling the world in UK is the government of occupation.
Absolutely. So let's just have a look at the latest statistics. Number of cases, 436,024 of COVID-19. Deaths so far, 19,630. Recoveries, 111,878. That leaves 340,516 active cases, of which 291,275 are considered mild, and 13,241 are considered serious or critical. So now look, what we want to do is to just run through the current state of things, and we're going to start with this because, well, the status of COVID-19 in the UK has been the subject of probably the largest flurry of emails from everybody, Brian, that I've seen in quite a long time, because this is the latest status of COVID-19 from Public Health England. And they're saying that as of the 19th of March 2020, COVID-19 is no longer considered to be a high consequence infectious disease in the UK. The Four Nations Public Health HCID group made an interim recommendation in January 2020 to classify COVID-19 as an HCID. This was based on consideration of the UK HCID criteria about the virus and the disease with information available during the early stages of the outbreak. Now that more is known about COVID-19, the public health bodies in the UK have reviewed the most up-to-date information about COVID-19 against the UK HCID criteria. They goes on to say they have determined that several features have now changed. In particular, more information is available about mortality rates, brackets low overall, and there's now greater clinical awareness and a specific and sensitive laboratory test, the availability of which continues to increase. The Advisory Committee on Dangerous Pathogens is also of the opinion that COVID-19 should no longer be classified as an HCID. So many people pointing this out to us, Brian, but I haven't seen any comment on this from mainstream media.
It's quite remarkable, Mike, and yes, I have to agree. I've had a lot of emails and texts where people are saying, well, what is going on here? Because this is a major declassification of COVID-19. I decided to challenge the BBC, and so we sent them an email this morning. Now, I've got to say, I phoned up the BBC press office, spoke to a very nice lady who was helpful, but she needed information by email, which is usually how the BBC works. So what we've said is, further to my phone call on the 19th of March 2020, COVID-19 was downgraded and is no longer considered to be a high consequence infectious disease. The link is here, and I gave the BBC the link to the government's own posting, which Mike has just shown you on the screen. I said, I'm unable to find any BBC references to this important change. Can you please point me to any BBC news announcements or reports that the BBC has made on the downgrading of COVID-19? If there are none, please can you explain why the BBC has not reported this very significant change? Now, it is quite possible that we've missed this, so that if people are watching today or listening and you know that the BBC has reported on this, then please email us and point us at where those reports are. We will be very interested to see what the BBC has said, and of course we'll also correct effectively what we've said here. Well, we haven't seen anything to date, but let's have a look at how else and how other people are reacting to this downgrading. Now, Johnny Mercer, who we like to call Here Comes Johnny, sends out a regular a package of information, not only to his constituents, but also to other people in Plymouth. He'd sent this one out. If we do what's asked of us, we can beat this. The direction given from government is not as hard to understand as people make out. It can be summarised as follows: stay away from other people where you can. Think of everyone else, particularly the vulnerable, before yourself. So that was the advice, but this is really what we were interested in, that basically his office had been emailed about the downgrading of COVID-19, and they responded by saying, yes, the government advice on that website is correct. So Johnny Mercer, as an MP, knows that COVID-19 has been downgraded. He knows where that information was posted, but his reaction is basically to carry on as if there was no change in the nature of the disease. And this is, of course, what other MPs are doing. And if the BBC is not reporting this important change, we've got a massive deception going on here by design or ignorance. We can't be too sure.